Hello, I'm Patrick Singleton, clinical hypnotherapist, master practitioner of NLP, and I'm also a hypnotherapy, NLP, and inner mind sourcing trainer. I'm also the founder of Santa Fe Hypnotherapy and NLP and the co-founder of Hypnotherapy Global. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of how NLP and IMS, or inner mind sourcing, work inside of a session to create positive changes in people's lives. And I'm just going to apologize up front that I'm going to be reading this because I want to make sure that I cover all of the important points. So you can understand that when you're looking at me and you see my eyes moving, I'm reading what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to start by explaining very simply how NLP creates changes in people's lives. In the last video, I explained that in this work, we change people's lives by changing the automatic unconscious programming that runs their lives in ways they don't like and want to change. Now that much is true of any kind of change work. The only difference is in how efficiently and effectively that we make the changes and how well those changes create the desired results. In NLP, there's an understanding that much of how we think and feel and respond to things comes down to how we represent those things in our mind, using a combination of inner sounds, sensations, and feelings and images. So, for example, if you think that something is wonderful and amazing, you're going to represent that in your mind very differently than something that you dislike. You'll obviously use different words to describe those experiences, but even your inner images will be very different for something you enjoy for something that you dislike. In a similar way, things that you believe are true are represented in your mind very differently than things that you believe are not true. And the reason for the differences is so that we can easily, almost instantly, know the difference between what we believe and what we don't, or the difference between what's true or not true, or safe or not safe, and so on. We need access to that kind of information instantly in order to respond to life at the speed at which it occurs. If you had to constantly think about those things consciously, do I believe this? Is that true? Is it fun? Is it safe? You wouldn't live very long because life happens too fast for that. So when you understand that you can change the way a person thinks or feels about something by guiding them to change the way they represent that thing in their mind, then you have a very powerful tool to help them change things in beneficial ways. Now, much of NLP does just that. We guide a person to make specific changes to the way they represent a memory or an idea or even an imagined possibility so that they'll now think and feel and act in ways that are more likely to give you what you want to experience in your life. And finally, NLP also makes use of very specific ways to guide your thoughts and thought processes for your benefit. Now, there's so many language patterns in NLP that books have been written just to demonstrate and explain those patterns. So I won't try to explain them here, except to say that NLP language patterns are used in all kinds of ways to guide people's thought, depending on what the specific intention is in that moment. So that's a very quick, simple overview of how NLP works to create positive change in your life. Now let's move on to explain a bit how IMS, or inner mind sourcing, works to create changes in your life. So in IMS, we treat the subconscious mind like a computer operating system. We use the same principles for creating change that operate in NLP, but we do it in a different way by utilizing the intelligence and capabilities of your subconscious mind to make changes which would either be not possible to do in any other way, or that would take much, much longer if they were done the way they are in most NLP methods. By treating the subconscious more like a computer, we make use of capabilities for creating change that make those changes more thorough and more efficient than when the guide or the hypnotherapist is trying to direct every little detail themselves. As an IMS facilitator, I don't need to know the details of how a memory or a belief is represented in your mind, because your subconscious intelligence knows those details intimately. Your subconscious intelligence knows exactly how things are represented in your mind because it's in charge of creating and maintaining all those inner representations of everything. Without your subconscious, you wouldn't be able to learn things or to have all the unconscious memories that guide all of your automatic behavior and responses. So in IMS, instead of eliciting a lot of information which you don't have conscious access to and will never need again, and then using that information to guide so many changes, one little detail, one little step at a time, instead of doing that, in IMS, I direct your subconscious to make all of the relevant changes nearly all at once, without me having to know or elicit all of that information. In other words, facilitating IMS is a bit like being a computer programmer, but instead of needing to know all of the very fine details of how a specific program runs, and then changing each little detail myself until it runs correctly, I can actually use the internal knowledge which the computer already has of those details and have it make all of the right changes, including all of those little details. Your subconscious is like that computer or operating system. It deals with the small details of your programs all the time because it is the one running and maintaining those programs in your mind. IMS allows us to use that intelligence to rewrite those programs thoroughly in order to create the desired results that you want to have in your thoughts and feelings and behavior. So that's the quick, very simple overview of IMS and how it works to create positive change in your life. And in my work with clients, I use hypnotherapy because I guide people into trance in order to do the change work. And then I either use IMS or NLP processes to create the desired changes. And I may use both kinds of processes in a single session because each one works in its own way and they complement each other. All right, so if you have any questions after watching this video, or you would like to book a private session, or you can contact me directly at 505-577-1436 by text or phone. I'll give the number again, 505-577-1436. And I'm happy to answer any questions about price or how long a session is and so on. And please check out the websites www.santafehypnotherapyandnlp.com and www.innermindsourcing.com to learn more about IMS and how that works. And please also check out www.hypnotherapyglobal.com. Each of those sites are different. Hypnotherapy Global has guided audio programs which you can buy or subscribe to for a variety of different issues. Those programs use hypnotherapy, NLP, and IMS, and they are available guided by me or my colleague, Christina Higgins. They're available with or without brainwave entrainment. So I think they're pretty awesome, so check it out. And so that's it for now. I'm Patrick Singleton. Thanks for watching.